All right, so I don't know if you guys know, but we put this live on YouTube, and of course, with the other person with is within the breakout room, they are not going to see. But hello, everybody on YouTube. My name is Clinton Brito. I'm going to be your host today here at Talk and Talk. Uh, I didn't introduce myself, but briefly introduce me. I'm 32 years old. I live in Aracaju, Sergipe. I'm a software developer. I'm married. I have 4 pets, 3 cats and a dog. And in my free time, I like to stay home, watch movies, TV series, live sports. I also like to practice sports too. Go to the movies, to travel, and that's me in a nutshell. So today we're uh, going to talk about it's front in front of my screen now. Yeah, unlocking creativity. Is everyone creative? That's the title of the theme. So basically, we have a lot of questions to discuss about this today. And I would like to ask you, Lucas, could you start to reading answer the first question for us, please?
Yeah. How y- how would you define creativity? Do you think it applies only to art artistic fields, or is it present in other areas as well? Creativity is the ability to think outside the box, find to new solutions, and generate original ideas. It is not limited to artistic fields. It it is present in all areas, including business, technologies, and the sciences. Sciences. A great example in choice you use methodologies such as lean manufacturing, agile methodologies, etc. Because creativity and a different perspective make the process and the industry more efficient.
Okay, thank you, Lucas. And you, Bruna, please.
Creativity is the concept that you think different for the others. Everyone's trying to do the same way, think the same way, and you provide the innovative solution. And there are many degrees of innovative solutions. Some solutions are groundbreaking solutions, disruptive groundbreaking. For example, if you work with industry, you need to prove the theory in practice. You have this proof of concept. You need to prove this solution that you propose for the industry, and you need to convince them, talk them into something. You need to convince them that your solution is more affordable, is more apply for the business that they are in this area. So you need to have this creativity that includes not only propose this solution. This solution needs to be, you have to really execute this. You need to, in Portuguese, you say factível. You need to execute the solution, and you need to think in the money. You need to think the social way too for the public that the solution is provided. If you are pharmaceutical, if you are a textile, if you are a chemistry product like a cosmetics, you need to pay attention to the public too. And you need to consider the values of the industry too. So if you provide a solution for some kind of industry, it is client, this industry is focused on environment, is focused on sustainable solutions. You need to consider that in your proposal. So creativity is not only propose something out of the blue, propose something like in university, you propose something out of the blue, something great, but you need to execute this. It have to be factible. I don't know the synonym for factible, but you have to this. I think this is it. You need to be more. I don't know the word, the synonym for factible in Portuguese.
All right. Thank you, Bruna. And what's your opinion about this, Michelle?
First of all, I think that every area could have a creative person or this type of thing. You only need to think about think out the box. I don't know if this term is correct, but you could be clever and try new things and try challenge yourself to be creative. You could um, open your own history or your own business, but to be different, you need to be creative. This is my idea about it.
Okay. Um, I have difficult to answer this question because I never thought myself as a creativity person, but usually people say that I am a person with creativity. So it's a conflict within myself because I always thought as a more artistic way this concept, but like uh, some of you said, it's not only an artistic thing. It has to do with problem solving in different ways, and in a way sometimes that none of the none of them inside the group where you work with thought about this solution. So uh, I'm a more this kind of creativity person, but main of the solutions that I led creatively has to do with research. So a lot of things that I searched about it, how to solve specific things, and mix this all together, and it it comes to surface a different thing from scratch, but it was basically a mix of very different sources that I mixed and presented presented this as a solution, and it was saw by many people as a creativity solution for this problem. So today I understand it's broader than artistic thing to the creativity, and that's the intuition of this theme today. Discuss a little bit more about this because I don't think it's a thing that people born with it, this skill. We can craft it, we can improve this skill throughout our years. So that's it. All right, so question number 2, could you answer for us, please, Bruna?
You consider yourself a creative person, why or why not? Um, like you, I'm not consider back the days. I'm not consider myself a creative person, but I realized that creativity is more, like you said, is more broader than I think. I'm a chemistry, so I need to research a lot for some kind of solutions, some combine different degrees of knowledge in a multidisciplinary workplace. So we need to pick up someone's brain or put our heads together to come up with a solution. And this creativity, I see these kind of things in a daily basis, in daily activities, simple activities like if you optimize your time. I consider this a creativity because you do in the different way. You need to optimize your time for, I don't know, go back to home. It's a creativity too, because you need to planner, you need to um, search for the road to go back home, and you gain this time. You can invest in other thing. And I try to note. Nowadays I'm trying to notice this kind of creativities in normal life, like the time, or I don't know, if you plan your routine, and I organize your agenda to put some immersion, English immersion, and to try to organize this, and you got it done, and you improve your English. It's a creativity too. You can organize your things, you organize your life, and I consider my colleagues creative too, and my colleagues consider me creative, but not only in the, oh, I have this groundbreaking solution for this problem for this client in the industry. I can be a creative person in my simple activities too.
Very nice. Thank you, Bruna. And what do you think about Lucas?
Yeah. Yes, I consider myself a creative person because I like to find innovative ways to solve a problem, especially in technology and data analysis related to my field to expertise.
I think you have I don't know, a fan, some kind of ventilator. It's crushing to your microphone. It's makes some noise, strange noise in your microphone, but it's okay. Michelle, your turn, please.
Sometimes I think so, but sometimes I don't think so. If I have some problem in my life or in a life that the person that I like, I could try and think about a new thing to solve this problem, but sometimes I don't think so. When I need myself to solve my problems, I could have problem, but to get any solve. But when I need help somebody or help another person, I could think a good thing to help this person. This is the reason to I say so or more or less.
Okay. I'm thinking I'm a little bit like you, Michelle. Sometimes I think I am, but other times I'm not. So I don't know. I think I'm a little in the middle way, but like Bruna said, sometimes think out of the box. It's enough. Other times not. It's not enough to be creative. Um, I think it has to do with deliver something with a different touch. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but sometimes, for example, you have to you have a presentation for a client, and when I had these situations to, for example, have a presentation for a client, I always try to get as much information as I could about the person itself, and try to connect these little details of what is important for the client in a personal way, and put this inside the presentation. At my previous occupation, I worked in the financial market, and I had a lot of meetings with clients, and I basically had to convince the client to invest his money or her money with my company. So uh, I try to gather information about the person and try to connect with my products how it could solve a problem in their lives of this family. And I think this is an example of how creativity could take place in your daily routine, in your smaller tasks at our work. But if you ask me if I don't know if I like to at my childhood, if I was a, a child that everyone was seeing me as a creative person, art and this kind of things, draw beautifully, quite the opposite. So um, basically, I was not that kid. So it's complicated to answer this question, but today I think I am a little bit a creativity person, but not as much as I wish. Okay.
Perhaps this creativity has something to do with the feeling, the gut feeling that you have in something. If you notice a situation and you can think quickly about it and take some and come up with some solution. And I think it's something to do with this feeling, and this feeling is related to the experience. When you get more and more and more experience, you try to take some decisions, the correct decisions in the project or in your personal life. I think it's more like a knowledge, this awareness of your profession, of your environment is, I don't know, maybe it's this feeling, this person is creative, they come up with this solution, but when you see they have a background in your career, they have a lot of experience, so they have this feeling when they see something, they can tell which way you can go. Oh, you can take this decision, you can take this way. Maybe something to do with this.
Yeah, it's nice what you said, because I was thinking it has to do, in my opinion, with risk taking sometimes, because sometimes we think about the possibility to do something differently, but we're not so sure about how would people see this other approach. And sometimes you have to be bold and a risk taker to take this decision to do something a different way than people traditionally do, any specific task, I don't know, anything. And sometimes it doesn't work. So I think it has to do to be a risk taker also. This is what you said made me think about this. Uh,
And the person has to be open-minded too. A person, like Lucas said, think outside the box.
yeah, absolutely. Uh, okay, so question number 3, Michelle, could you read first, please, and
Have
answer?
you have you ever faced a situation where you had to pull a rabbit out of a rat to solve a problem? What happened? I don't think if this situation counts, but one time my daddy um said about myself to some type of host in a company, and this host pick my profile to get some interview there, and I said a lie about my profile because it was my first time getting a job, and I needed this job, and I said that I could do a lot of things uh, on office like Word or Excel, this type of thing. And I said every lie that I could. And one time I forget about this interview, but this guy called to me and said, "Oh, could you come here on the Monday, and I thought, oh, I could, and I said yes, of course, and I tried every weekend learn about Excel or something to get this opportunity, and I was very well, I think, but I couldn't continue on this job because they didn't have a opportunity to get more person or more um, staff, I don't know, there. And yeah, this is my history.
Nice, nice, Michelle. I was thinking about what Lucas would answer about this because he's a tech recruiter. So sometimes I think he see a lot of people faking about their profile and saying skills that they have that they don't. And after that, for example, if the person passes this process, they have to, as the expression says, take pull a lot of rabbits out of a hat to daily actually do this I don't know to prove themselves about their skills. What do you think about, Lucas?
Essa pergunta é triste para mim, viu? Mas vamos lá. Yeah, several times at work because I don't always work. It's great opportunities is in technology area. For example, the salary is not always attractive, and the form of work is not always remote, but more in person. And there are times when the salary is low. It is in person, and the hours are terrible, etc. There are developers you almost see with me you are present at bad opportunities, especially to senior owns.
Okay. Lucas, go ahead to question number 4, please.
Yeah, there are people you say that creativity is a skill that can be developed. Do you agree? You can someone become more creative? Creative. Yes, I agree. Creativity can be developed by practicing problem solving, exposing yourself to the experience and the challenging conventional think, or as the saving goings, think outside the box.
Okay, very nice, Lucas. What do you think about this, Bruna?
I I reckon this skill can be developed. So in the way you can do this is pay attention in your surroundings. For example, if your colleague talk about their experiment in the laboratory, and this experiment is different from something that you work, you need to pay attention because they talk some key things that you can use in your research, or you can brainstorm with your other colleague, exchange ideas. You can do something by yourself too, read the other articles different for your field. I think you'll be more open-minded if you read this, put effort to read something different that you use it too. You can, I don't know, you can use a lot of tools, reading articles, and news, and you can even notice the nature. You can even notice these little things that you can see in the nature, the flowers, the research do that a lot. They based the research in the nature, hydrophobicity, hydrophilicity, and this kind of thing, this concept, this chemistry concepts, are are in the mimetic the nature. So you can be more have this attention your surroundings, maybe talk more with the experienced people that have a lot of background, and they can help you with another ideas, something totally different that you thought you needed to risk something to do this activity. Maybe combine these things, and also remember your background too. You have these previous experiences, and you work in a lot of fields, in a lot of areas, so you need to connect these dots and have this multidisciplinary background, and use it and apply. Try to put this theory in practice.
Very nice. Thank you, Bruna. And you, Michelle, what do you think about this?
I think so. But there are a lot of people that have more skills to be creative. But to be more creative, we need push ourselves to this type of situation that needs be creative, like problems. Try solve problems. If we can't solve problems, we whatever. We only could try. And this is my idea about this topic.
Okay, I'm going to try to answer a little bit different. It's hard after all of you answered the question, but I do agree. It's a skill. Creativity is a skill that can be developed throughout our lives, but we have to we need to have this intentionality. I mean, it's you don't see this being developed without actually trying to develop it. You have to be, for example, a person with curiosity, open-minded, open to experience new things, uh, have a broad kind of experiences in life. This uh, all of this combined make you it's very hard not to make you a creative person, because when you see a situation and you have this broad kind of experiences in your life, and it could be experiences and studies as well, self knowledge. When you mix all this thing, you start to build up some kind of wisdom, and this this repertoire is it's what makes you a person with creativity. So I believe it's possible, but you need this intentionality and prepare yourself to be a more creativity person. And it takes time. It's not it doesn't comes from nothing. And basically, I think the most important thing is you to expose yourself to a vast kind of experiences and studies throughout the years. So basically, I think this is the most important thing. Yeah, that's it. Okay, next question. I'm going to read and answer. What activities make you feel the most creative? Writing, drawing, brainstorming, or something else? when I started recently more at writing, uh, writing stuff. I don't know if you guys are familiarized with uh, a different perspective how to study. It's called Zettelkasten. It's basically building a second brain. It's very following some steps, and I use an app called Obsidian, and I started recently to do this more or less 1 month, and I started to write a lot during these past weeks because of this. And whatever when an idea comes to mind, I wrote it down, or when I have to study about a specific thing about my area, software development, I started to write about this thing and search about this thing and putting with my words, and I'm creating a lot of notes about everything you can imagine, and you connect these ideas, these notes, uh, differently, for example, using tags or keywords, and you started to building a second brain. That's the whole point of doing this. And it's basically writing all the time. You search, or when an idea comes to you, you started to write about this thing, and during the time you improve this, and it is helped me a lot, to be more connected, deeply connected with knowledge. And it's basically writing all the time. So writing in my case has been helped me a lot, for uh, these recent times, and it makes me feel more creative now than before. It's recently, I mean, it's like 1 month ago when I started to do this, but I can see how big this will become, uh, as long as I continue to do this. And it's very interesting approach to learn new things. Uh, what do you think about Lucas?
Sorry, question number 5?
Yes,
Yeah,
number 5.
thanks. I hold saying ratings, watching movies and series sometimes up to 10 times because it helps me expand the creative field. Simple.
As simple as that. I thought about movies as well because I watch a lot of movies. It's my main thing that I do in my free time. It helps me with creativity. Not much today with my active main activity, software developing, but looking the big picture, I think it's something that helps me, uh, with some specific goals that I have for my future. So I agree with you. And what do you think about it, Bruna?
I have my methodology to see the bigger picture. So when I'm researching, I'm try to pick some articles and try to make a connection between these articles, and I try to put them together and write about something, the highlights of this article, the results. And I'm also a visual person, so I need some illustrations to see how am I gonna do this. And I when I search something, I put together, I write, and I illustrate. So I made some kind of presentation and talked to my other colleague and to see the others' opinions, the others' view, and make this brainstorm. And all this together is a lot of work, but it helps me to come up with something. And I use a lot of these tools, so writing, reading, exchange ideas with colleagues, or when I see something in the, not specific in the movies, but I don't know, something in the YouTube, something documentary, something like that. I try to pay attention because my colleague come up with a solution when she see the TV. I think Ana Maria Braga. She sees something about cellulose, fibers of cellulose, and she come up with this solution in the project. So I try to pay attention to these simple things too, these news, something like that, and combine this all together.
Very nice, very nice. And you, Michelle, what
Um,
technique do you have?
Um, I feel that videos on YouTube could help me with this type of thing, because when I started learning English, I was so lost, and I searched a lot of videos saying about methodology to learn, and I did a mix of all of them, and I feel that learn with another person, uh talk with another person like now could help me with this type of thing.
Yeah, other thing that I like to use, it's not a technique, but helps me is listen specific kind of musics. Uh, During my work, I like to, if I'm doing something like coding or studying, I can listen to music at the same time. I don't know, I feel like it fills the rest of my mind, so it helps me to keep more focused. And but I, I it's not for example, music with lyrics does not work. It has to be something instrumental, and that's because I listen a lot of soundtracks of movies, series, etc., games, video games, classic musical sometimes, but using usually soundtracks, it's something that I listen to all the time, and I can do this while I'm working or studying, and it helps me a lot. It's not something that has to do with creativity, but helps me to focus. Um, if I have to focus some kind of task is this is necessary, especially when you're coding. This helps me to enter into the mood. All right. Let's go to another question. Question number 6, Michelle. Could you read and answer, please?
Okay, how does your environment affect your creativity? Do you work better in silence with music or in a business atmosphere? um Yeah, the first question, I think so. Um, to me, when I'm doing some activity that need only read and write something, I could put some rain songs on the YouTube to help me to focus myself on the activity. But when I need do something about my listening and pay attention on the activity, I need a silence place to try get a lot of or all information that I hear or I listen.
All right. Thank you, Michelle. And you, Bruna?
Um, I'm an introverted person, so I like the silence. But in the workplace, it's I wish I have this silence, and sometimes I tend to filter these other surroundings. So sometimes I pause and listen something because they say something key. It can be a game changer for me in the project, I can use this information. It's really interesting, and I can talk to my colleague about. Or sometimes when not interesting me, it's not worth it. I focus in my activity. I don't listen music. I don't like. I like listen to music when I'm home, reading my articles. But in the workplace, I don't like to do this. It's my thing. You can be allowed to do, but it's my thing. I don't like. But I try to focus in this way. I try to pay attention when I'm reading. When I see some interesting, I talk to other colleagues. When not, I only focus when I'm reading, what I'm doing. And sometimes I try to change the subject. I get really focused, really strict in this in the one specific subject to come up with something, and I try to shift. I try to change for to I don't know if when you change your point of view change too, and you can be more even creative in this way. I try to read something different. I try to help another colleague in other activity, and this helping me to solve something.
All right. Thank you, Bruna. And you, Lucas?
Yeah, it very depend on the case. Like a very noisy environment, people calling me the time, for example, is a has negative effect for me. I work like at environment. It's uplifting us. Oh God, uplifting, uplifting music and have truth proving music. It helps me focus and I think clearly.
Okay. Um, well, in my case, like I said before, I really enjoy to listen to music during working or studying, helps me to focus. Uh, but of course, this is only possible because I at home, and when I at the office, sometimes it is possible, but other times not. And I try to when I work at the office, I try to use music to help me focus too when it was so much noisy environment. And when it was possible, it wasn't a meeting or I had to focus on some kind of task. And music helped me a lot of these kind of situations. Although I know some people don't like to see you at working, listen to music. But like you said, Lucas, depends of the situation. Uh, it's important to have the sensibility to know when it's okay or not. So, guys, welcome back. I would like to ask you how was the conversation on the breakout room? What did you see yourselves as a creative person? Uh, it is a discussion that a lot of people has if whether we are or not creative persons. Uh, what do you think about Camila? We are very thoughtful while I was talking.
I think depends on the situation. I can be more creative or not, but yeah, I consider myself a medium creative person, you know.
Okay. And you, Norberto, how was the conversation?
It's great conversation. We talk about creativity. Is very, very nice. Um, I want to uh, thank thanks to Gessé. It's controlling the immersion very well. Thanks.
It's very good. Thank you. Tatiani, how was the conversation? Did you
I love
learn it today?
I love the conversation today. I think that We talk about creativity, but I think that follow just a normal course because we talk about the things that we do in our routine, for example, to maintain creativity and how we deal with these things. So I really enjoyed.
Very nice. Thank you, Tatiana. Last but not least, Jesse.
It was great. I think I learned a lot about we talked about the environment, because I think it's very important if you have an office or if you prefer go to a coffee for work. I don't know, but I think is important to choose a right place for do your job or uh, be more creativity.
Yeah, sometimes I miss the my time at the office, you know, getting up from in front of your screen and take a coffee and have a chit chat with anyone. I miss a little bit this sometimes, but I tend to agree that working from home has more benefits, especially when you work far from where you live far from where you work. It's very sad to spend a lot of time at traffic or commuting in general. That's it, guys. Was nice to see you here. Some new faces. I hope to see you again in the next weeks, next immersions, same time, same day, and to be here. And yeah, that's it. Thank you. Hope to see you another time. Have a good night. Nice week.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
guys.
See
Bye,
you
guys.
guys.
Bye
Bye
bye.
Bye
bye.
bye.